You don't need another prayer. You need a fire that's lit under your fake faith. You keep asking God to change your life, but He's been waiting on you to kill the lies that you're still defending. So, look, if this offends you, perfect. You were meant to find this because I didn't come for the churched or the comfortable. I came for the ones who have been choking on their own potential. My name is Chris. I've been addicted. I've been broken. I've been to war both inside and out. Drugs, alcohol, porn, rage, shame. I've destroyed relationships. I've almost destroyed myself. I was a believer who ran, who lived bound until God broke me down, tore me down to nothing, then built me back from that fire. Now, I coach high-performing Christians who are done living in that world. They're done pretending. They're done with the comfort. They're done with the compromise. I am a father. I'm a coach. I am a warrior of the word. In this channel, this is where I deliver the same truth that I bring to my private clients. Unfiltered, raw, every Friday, no fluff, no masks, no lukewarm nonsense. And look, I didn't get here by reading books or listening to podcasts. I got here by crawling out of my own grave. There were nights that I begged God to fix me while I just secretly kept the very chains that I was asking Him to break. I was the guy who spoke in motivation but couldn't lead his own home. The guy who went to the gym but with a rotted out soul. I knew about God, but I didn't walk with Him because I hadn't let Him burn out the garbage that I was still holding on to. And until the pain finally outweighed my pride, I wouldn't have made that decision. I remember the exact moment that it all collapsed. Sitting in silence in my gym, everything looking fine from the outside, but the inside feeling completely dead. The shame had built up so high, I couldn't hear God. I was leading no one, not my kids, not my marriage, not myself. That was the morning that I realized I didn't have a life. I had a mask, and I spent years worshiping the comfort of control more than I trusted God to rebuild what I had broken. It wasn't some motivational video that changed me. It wasn't a gentle podcast or some Instagram reel. It was the fire of God wrecking me in the silence and making me choose stay dead in the comfort or bleed forward into the freedom. I chose the second one and have never looked back. This is for the ones who are tired of the soft sermons, tired of encouragement with no real transformation, tired of Christian content that feels good but changes nothing. This is for the man still pretending to lead, but behind closed doors, he's barely holding it together. This is for the woman who quotes scripture, but still lets fear run her home. If that's you, and if you're done with the fake, you've just found your tribe. Now, let's make sure we root this in the word, because this isn't self-help with a cross slapped on it. Hebrews 12:11 says, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it." You don't need a new journal prompt. You don't need a fake sermon. You need discipline. You need pain that produces. You need to stop reading about freedom and get up and start actually fighting for it. If you're sensitive or easily offended, stop watching now. If you need coddled, this isn't it. If you want your excuses validated, there are thousands of Christian influencers for that. But if you're ready to be called out, confronted, and transformed, you found your battlefield. I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm here to light the fire under the calling that you've been ignoring. So yes, this will offend you. And if it doesn't, I failed. I run coaching programs for Christians who are ready to go all in faith, fitness, mindset, and accountability. We attack the body, we master the mind, and we train the spirit. This is the place where people come to drop 20, 30, 40 pounds, rebuke the broken marriages, kill the old addictions, hear from God clearly again, and walk with power, not because they're motivated, but because they finally got uncomfortable enough to change. Pause this video if you need to, but I want you to ask yourself something that nobody else ever makes you ask. Where in your life are you still blaming? Blaming your schedule instead of owning your time? Blaming your spouse instead of stepping up and leading your home? Blaming the enemy when the real problem is you? And what happens if nothing ever changes? Same body, same shame, same disconnection from God. And then 10 years from now, you'll be twice as bitter, twice as numb, twice as broken, unless you step up and do something right now that changes everything. Like every Friday, I'll drop a message just like this one. One video, one truth, one slap to the soul. You'll get scripture-backed fire, conviction without compromise, and a consistent call to rise higher. This is your accountability. This is your warning. This is your weekly wake-up call. You weren't born to be a slave to your feelings. You weren't born to lead from fear. You were born to blend in with the world and throw a verse on top of it. You were born to be bold, to be set apart, to be unshakable. This world is getting darker, and passive Christians are getting eaten alive. So this channel, this movement, it's not a hobby. It's a resistance. Every Friday, I'm arming you for war. Spiritually, mentally, physically. If you're just here for entertainment, it's not for you. But if you're here to actually rise, welcome to the front lines. Listen, hit the subscribe. If you're done hiding behind Christian excuses, comment the word ready. If you're not just watching, but you're actually stepping up and stepping in. And then send this to the one person that you know who's been playing church instead of becoming a weapon for the kingdom. Look, we're not here to feel good. We're here to fight. And next Friday, it only gets harder.